Hello, my friends. This is The Art of Prepping. Hope you guys are doing good today. Today's topic is going to be more about psychology, various types of psychology being used in the modern day to manipulate and change the course of society. Unfortunately, though, it's for the worse. And, a lot of people I talk to want to discuss this. And so I thought, you know what, if I'm having a lot of private conversations about this topic, there's probably going to be a lot more people that would like to talk about it or, just think about this topic further. And I want to do this video for you guys. And so I'm going to title this The Battle Within, War of Ideology. And this is not going to be a very long video. It's just kind of an intro to basically psychological warfare. And so what I see here is that in the modern day, and of course, this has been used through different world wars too. This is nothing new of what's going on, but there's a use of propaganda and the use of threats to mislead, intimidate, coerce, demoralize the opposition. And if you want to know who the opposition is basically conservative Americans, and so it's to influence the behavior of the enemy. And most of us are the enemy. And so there is this acronym for psychological warfare. It's sometimes known as PSYWAR. And there's also another acronym for psychological operations called PSYOPs. And those, are going to be kind of what we're talking about here today in some way. And overall, I see these psychological operations, these PSYOPs, assisting in overcoming us as the people, our will to fight, and that's a problem when they get us so worked up and fighting amongst each other, and they distract us so much and they keep us so busy that they overcome us just because our will to fight them directly is compromised because of the things they set up ahead of time. And what you also see, these people doing to us in society is that they try to sustain the morale of their side, and then as well as they try to win over the alliance from groups of the enemy. So like us, they try to win us over, in part here and there, and they try to pick us apart. So it's very multi-layered. And also there's a lot of influencing going on. Influencing the people's allies, right? In a moral sense and in an attitude sense. And so the target group, which is general society, especially conservatives, they are being targeted by dismantling their allies. And, the planners of these PSYOPs, they do this mainly to gain knowledge of the beliefs and the likes and the dislikes and the strengths and the weaknesses and the vulnerabilities of the target population. Once again, that's us. And these planners and these people who carry out these psychological warfare operations, they want to know what motivates the target, what motivates us. And so they can actually attack us. And so the citizens of the world are really under attack here, especially if you're talking about a more of a free republic. The few places in the world left that are somewhat free, those are certainly under full assault by the globalist and their ideologies, which ultimately are to undermine their freedom, and they're designed to enslave the masses, okay, to bring about complete control over all the elements of everyday life. This is pretty much it. And so it's not that the elite don't already have enough money, but they want to continue this agenda of death and enslavement, this Luciferian agenda. They want to fundamentally change the world. And it's not in our best interest, even though they're trying to sell us a bill of goods that are like, well, Agenda 2030, it's all about sustainability and it's all about equality. But really, it's just the opposite. And when you really dig deep into all this, and it's very disturbing. And so I just wanted to bring this up, and just so you can think about this more, about how the radical left and the socialists are infiltrating the country more and more every year, because they have a plan and they have a process that works. And if we call them out and we make it more difficult for them to succeed, then we stand a chance. But unless we push back and call this out, then they are going to continue to use our beliefs and our likes and dislikes and our strengths and weaknesses against us. And they're going to find what we're vulnerable, to, and they're going to just sock it to us. And they're going to take the things that we're motivated with and use it against us. And so they're very crafty, very slippery people. And, a lot of people, they call these people evil. I would agree. But it's almost like the epitome of evil. These people literally are the essence of evil because of their end goals. It's diabolical. It's satanic. It's anti-God. It's anti-freedom. It's anti-everything that's good. And they are just a cult of death. And this is a plague that is spreading around the globe. And unless we, get our act together, this plague will spread and infest every area of the world. And we'll be in a situation that will have difficulty eradicating this disease because once it gets ingrained, it's very difficult to see the truth because people get so blinded in ideology. And just know that this is a war of ideology. And the battle is within us. It's a war of the mind, right? It's the war of how we see and view the world. And things are becoming more corrupt by the day. And so the lies continue at a pace that I've never seen before. It's becoming more and more difficult to find the truth. And so I just want to put this out there as a warning that the things to come could be horrendous in the near future. And not that, we don't already kind of know this. I mean, there are a lot of people that are seeing that, okay, the stock market is overvalued. It's in a bubble. It's probably going to pop in the next, 2 to 4 months. We know that we have a horrendous, leadership team, in terms of Biden's, administration, that the Senate and the House, basically Congress is not representing the people. They could kind of care less. We know that they just want to print money. They want to inflate the currency. The Federal Reserve is in their own world. I mean, they are just totally disconnected with what we need, and they're just making things worse. In fact, the central banks around the world are just making things worse and pushing us toward a collapse scenario. And of course, I think that's what they want, though, for this big global economic reset. Thanks for checking the video out. I'll catch you later.